It's like the universe is holding your hand, and everything that is being orchestrated is definitely for you, and you know the foreign you of it. You know the for you of it. You know what that is. You know that beauty. You know that majesticness. You know that magical. You know that, and it becomes like wonder in life, and then you're like wandering through life because it's so wonderful. And it's a nourishment, and it's a blessing, and it's bliss, and it's peace, and it's gratitude, because you're grateful for all these things that are happening, whether they're pleasurable or not. You're not so attached because you understand that it's all just still for you. So then you just bathe yourself in joy, you just bathe yourself in love, you bathe yourself, you become this beautiful light, and you become a light to other people, and you activate other people, and other people learn how to be the same way. And we are all an activation for each other. And these ancient codes, they're also activation. So it's all just activation. It's all just awakening and awareness, and embracing and nurturing. It's all just becomes this beautiful like energy of almost like mothering something, like almost like mothering something, and then you create something beautiful. And so the something you will create beautiful is your life. I heard life. So you create life that is a beautiful life for you. Okay, yes. So it feels like it's a card I'm supposed to read out of here. I don't know what this is. And this is for just understanding of the galactic vibrations, coming through this earth, our activations, what's going on with the earth, what's coming, what's to know, what is it that we need to know at this time. Okay. Fill up your well, leap, and wait, postpone, say no. Okay, so I'm going to give this to y'all as it's coming, because I don't know if this message may be just for a particular group or a particular person. It feels kind of specific, so I'm going to just give it to you. Okay. No, wait, postpone, say no. And you see the pyramid and the storm. Okay. Then the next one is leap. You go first and the universe will catch you. And just for frame purposes, in case this picture size changes later. And then fill up your well. Retreat, rest, refuel. I've been using these cards for a while. Okay. Okay, on one level, I do feel that someone is asking a question. Should they do something? Should they do something or not? And it's something that feels like a big decision. And the answer is no. Wait on that, and instead fill your well up. Fill yourself up. Refuel yourself. And come back to it. Come back to the decision. And then it says leap. You go first and the universe will catch you. So I'm feeling that this is a message for like a couple people, maybe just 2 or 3 people. And it's like, stop what you're doing, refill yourself, and then make this decision. When you refill yourself, you'll know which way to go. When you take your rest, you'll realize what's true to you. When you do that pause process, you will come to a place where you'll have clarity on your next move. Now, this next move, from what I'm understanding, because of this leap card, is that this is not going to be a traditional move or regular decision that, you know, in the sense of everybody wouldn't necessarily make this decision. This might not be the logical next step, but for some reason, you know it's the next step. Like when people move from city to city because they know they were called to another city, and then they get to the other city and this whole thing unfolds for them in this beautiful way, and they end up learning some magical things about themselves. Like, you know, it's like one of those kind of things. Okay. You go first, the universe will catch you. Okay, so then you will be able to confidently or in trust take this next step, and just know that it's the right step regardless of what it looks like. Regardless of what it looks like. That is what they want you to kind of understand. That this is something that is going to benefit you, support you. And I'm feeling also that there's a sense of this is going to create some kind of longevity, some kind of situation that will have longevity, which will allow you to continue to flow in your life in a certain way. Okay, so I just want to go ahead and drop that message because I'm definitely getting that. Now, pulling back on a bigger scale, I'm noticing the zodiac or the star structures, the constellations that are in the back of this card. And then also, these both feel like the moon. And again, like needing to fill up and making the leap. You see how the moon is full? Okay. There's a storm happening right now. There is a storm that is happening, and what this is referencing is all of the different energies colliding together and causing this chaotic feeling reformation in the system. And it feels like this to me, like energetically, it's just like energy just dancing everywhere and just shifting shit up. Okay. And so that is what this postpone card feels like. And this is, if this is a postpone for the collective, the postpone for the collective is step back from what you're doing, go into yourself and sort some things out. You need to be sorting these things out. These triggers you've been having, these incidents has been popping off, paying attention to what your life is showing you, because it's all a dance and it's a rhythm and it's a harmonization. And what's happening here is that once you get in the rhythm with it, then it becomes this beautiful thing and this synchronistic thing, and it becomes fulfilling in life. It becomes the magic of life. It becomes the swiftness of things happening. It becomes all of this clarity. It becomes so many beautiful things. But right now it's doing this. And so you got to get your grounding while this is happening. And you got to sort through your stuff, because this is like, I can feel the energy. And it honestly does feel kind of like when it's thundering outside, I can feel this energetic energy. If I'm asleep, I always wake up because I can feel like that electricity in the air and that energy just popping in the air. And it always wakes me up. But also in this, it feels like the synapses of the brain. It feels like the synapses of the brain, the triggering of the nervous system, and there's this flushing feeling. So it is like a storm, like it's a rinsing, it's the clearing, it's the purification. Like all of these things are happening at the same time. So when that one trigger is happening, is loosening other things that you have tied to that one aspect, attribute, way of being, a habitual thing, and it's like unloosening all those things at one time. And it kind of showing it like a zipper, or like, you know, one of those hook closures where there's several hook and eye closures with the hooks that go into each other, and it's like, and they're like popping loose. And so with that, settle. It's like sit with it, process what you're feeling, listen to your emotions, watch where your emotions can carry you. I know I always say these things, but this is the things we do to help release, understand, integrate, and nurture those aspects of ourselves that are feeling in some sort of out of alignment. Okay. Okay, and while you're doing that, these still waters are what you're coming to. These still waters, this restful place is really like a reset. And it's about the abundance flowing in, and in the fullness, the happiness. I feel happiness of life coming in, and it's this really abundant feeling. It's really spacious, and it's really, and it's bringing me to, okay, like a new moon. Okay, yeah, like a new moon. And in this new moon is a refreshing. It's like after the storm, when the sun comes out, that freshness that is there is kind of like that kind of a feeling, but it's a calmness to it. And it's like emotionally the waters are calm, and they're calm here because you've already had all of these triggers, and you've released so much that you're at the point where it's just like everything is starting to smooth out. And it feels very refreshing and new. It feels new in my body. Like, what is this feeling? It's like an openness. I think that's another way to explain it. There's some openness, and it feels like it's in the heart. So it's like a heart activation. So it feels like a oneness in the heart activation. Let's see if there's anything else. Okay, for some reason they're bringing to my attention spineless cactus. So like cactus with no spikes. Okay, and then the cactus. When you break the cactus open in the desert, it supposedly has water in it, so you can drink this water. So it's still about nurturing, and it's about like the thing that once hurt you cannot hurt you again, because that trauma is no longer there, and you're no longer sitting in that pain and that struggle and that replay every day. You're not acting from the replay of trauma. You're living instead of reacting from the old stuff. So now it's like you're like that's beautiful. You're like the cactus with no pricklies, because no thorns, because pointy stuff on it anymore, because you don't need the protection. And yes, someone can be nurtured through who you are and what you are. And it's like you're softened, you're smooth. And okay, now they're showing me like a smooth gemstone where the surface is now smooth, where it was rough before. It's like that tumbling process that smooths out all the hard places and sands them down into a smooth surface. And so yeah, as you refill your well, this is what comes out of it. It's a very beautiful feeling. It's very grateful and abundant and happy and fulfilling. It really just feels so fulfilling. It feels like the cactus is full of water, like you're full, and now you have enough to actually like have an overflowing. And there's an element of safety I'm feeling as well. Something feeling safe, like, oh wow, like I'm safe in the world. Like I'm safe in the world now because of this. I am safe in the world. Okay, that's beautiful. Okay, and then so yeah, the refreshing after the rain. Okay. Oh, okay. And the point of the stars is that's the moment of like alignment. Okay, where you access your alignment in a different way, because now you're in the flow of gratitude and peace and love and this whole nurturing space. And it's like the alignment is inevitable and things will flow to you so easy, like water flows. Okay, let me just make sure if there are any other messages. Okay, divine alignment. Like this is the moment when you start budding. So you're budding like a flower buds, and then it opens, and the stretch. Ah, that's so beautiful. And that takes us right into the leap card, because this is a stretch. This is a stretch. This is like the next thing to do that is going to be, a stretch for you. But the thing that they're showing me is these structures down here. And they're bringing these to my attention because they're like, this is ancient. This is ancient. Look at how old that stuff is. Look at how old it is. Look. It used to be buildings. You can't even hardly tell it's a bit like. And so it's like the energy of that is that you have these ancient codes within you. You have this ancient knowledge within you. You have this ancient truths within you. Okay, so you can use what's within you to help yourself to do what you need to do next. With the light in the palm of her hand, your gifts. You received your gifts. And now your gifts, you can step forward in a different trust, in a different love, in a different experience of life. It's like, it's like the universe is holding your hand, and everything that is being orchestrated is definitely for you. And you know the foreign you of it. You know the for you of it. You know what that is. You know that beauty. You know that majesticness. You know that magical. You know that, and it becomes like wonder in life. And then you're like wandering through life because it's so wonderful. And it's a nourishment, it's a blessing, and it's bliss and it's peace and it's gratitude, because you're grateful for all these things that are happening, whether they're pleasurable or not. You're not so attached because you understand that it's all just still for you. So then you just bathe yourself in joy, you just bathe yourself in love, you bathe yourself, you become this beautiful light, and you become a light to other people, and then you activate other people, and other people learn how to be the same way, and we are all an activation for each other. And these ancient codes, they're also activation. So it's all just activation, it's all just awakening and awareness and embracing and nurturing. It's all just becomes this beautiful like energy of almost like mothering something, like almost like mothering something, and then you create something beautiful. And so the something you will create beautiful is your life. I heard life. So you create life that is a beautiful life for you, and whatever that entails for you, it'll be your life to entail, it'll be your life to determine. And it will be your light and your upliftment and your love. Like in the beginning, the cellular transformation, that is what is happening right now on a big scale. Everybody's being offered the opportunity for this, but some will not choose it. Some will fall away, and some will choose almost like death over this activation of transformation and this love, because they're just so stuck and stagnated and so burdened, and they just don't even want to do the work to get to what it could be. So instead of them just giving it a try or just start walking it that way, they're just gonna choose something else. And so we will lose some, and we will lose some friends, and we will lose some who chose to lose their life. Like, this is going to be happening continuously, and this is going to be continuing for some time. And there will be many, they're saying, and there will be many. There will be many who will not choose the light. There will be many who will prefer death. But it's because they're in a stagnated place and they just cannot see, and they don't desire to see. And that's not the journey they're taking this lifetime. With this life, they're not doing that with this life. And that is okay, because it's their choice. And that is how they're choosing to love themselves in that moment. And there's not really a such thing as not loving yourself. It's whatever you're choosing, that is the choice that you feel like loves you right now. And whether you change your mind about that later or not, that's fine. You don't have to. It can still be nurturing, even if you say, I'm glad I went through that. That's really loving it. That's really loving yourself and really honoring yourself, because you know at that moment, you did feel like that answer was the truth. You did feel like that decision was the truth. You know what I'm saying? And so that's a beautiful thing. Let people have their truth. Let people love themselves the way they want to be loved, and you don't control the way they want to be loved. Let them love. Let them love. And you love you. And you honor the harmony of what that love is, because you know what, for every person they get shifted out, you can get a new person who is going to honor who you are at this point now, just the way they honor who you are when you met them. There are always opportunities for that. They want me to remind you that there are many people on this earth. There will still be many people on this earth, even after this clearing process is done. And there will still be many people on this earth. You will not know all the people on the earth. So they want to just bring it to your attention that we are going through a change. And in this change, many things will change. Our perspective on life, our perspective on love, our perspective on trust, our perspective on life and what life should be and shouldn't be. All these things will change through this process. So just open yourself up to what can change, and honor where you are with your change at all times. Do your best to listen to yourself, because that blesses you. There will never be a moment when it doesn't bless you, even if you can't see it in that moment. It will always bless you. Yes, and even when it's pleasure or pain, it will always bless you. It will always bless you. It will always bless you. So just to reinforce it, the way they're giving it to me, it's like trust it and hold on to that. Hold on to that and honor that. Honor that. Honor that. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. And everything is holding your hand and uplifting you and supporting you. And it's like, even though you can't see anything touching her, she is floating because she is being uplifted by all of the divinities around her. She is surrounded and supported and loved, embraced. Everything wants to give to her because she's honoring herself. She's listening to herself. And when all of you agrees, there's nothing that can deny you. Okay? When all of you agrees. And that means when you don't have aspects that are telling you it's wrong, it's not true, you shouldn't do that, it's going to go wrong. All these stories we tell ourselves, that's not us. It's not who we are. It's not who we are. 19 minutes and 44 seconds. That's not who we are. Okay? It's like refound yourself. Refound yourself is what I just heard. Like redo your foundation. Renovate, we might call it. But they're saying refound yourself. Found yourself in new understandings. Found yourself in new truths. Let your mind stretch to places that you have not gone before, because that is where all the juicy jewels and gems are. They're not where you've already been. You know where you've already been. You know where you've already been. So you don't need to go where you already know. You need to go where you don't know, where you haven't seen, where you didn't understand. You need to go to those places. Those places are going to give you the most light and the most love and the most truth. It's like allow yourself to expand beyond what people say. People's expansion, let that be their expansion. You be your own expansion. Don't measure or limit your expansion based off of those around you. And if you feel limited around someone, put some space. Put some space in there. Give yourself room, permission to let yourself love on yourself. And if you got to put that phone down for that person that you always talk to, put the phone down. Because it honors you, and you cannot continue. And they're telling me this. You cannot continue to dishonor yourself for the sake of someone else's feelings. If you got to go, you got to go. You got to go, because in the reality, you're going to start feeling the physical effects of not listening to yourself. It's going to actually physically impact you because you didn't make the choice to choose yourself, because you have set the intention that you want to choose yourself. You have set the intention that you want to be this different person. You set that intention, so you have to listen to yourself. You have to honor yourself just the way you expect your manifestations to come through. You got to do the same and be a manifestation of yourself. Okay? Be the manifestation of yourself. You say that you're going to listen to yourself. You're going to treat yourself good. You're going to make sure you push the... Okay, but then you want to, every time the moment comes where you need to tell somebody no, you don't know how to say no. And I know that's not easy, because I had to learn it. I learned it, and I learned it, and I learned it again. In different ways, but I learned it. I did really learn it and learn it and learn it again. I promise you. And it's not always easy, because when you're a lover, or when you're a healer, or when you love the light, or when you're a very spiritual person, you know what we call spiritual. Everybody's spirit man, but when we call like spiritually aware, like it's not easy to do things that hurt people's feelings. And it's okay if their feelings are hurt. They'll get over it. And if they don't, then that's not really technically your problem. Just being honest with you. I'm sorry. It's not your problem. And if somebody hurt you because they had to go because of whatever they were going through, we have to learn to embrace each other's truths. And it doesn't mean I agree. It means I respect that you are the God of your world. And if that's what you say is the God of your world, then that's what goes. And I am going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. I am. Because I said so. And I am the God of my world, of my universe. So therefore, I'm going to respect you and honor you, and I'm going to empower myself by accepting that, because then I'm also accepting who I am and what is going on in my world. Acceptance. Okay, everything that's happening is a divine alignment. So understand and embrace that divinity. And matter of fact, even set up what you want to have. Okay, well, I did love that relationship. And I love this, and that about it. And I would love to have another experience with someone who's in alignment with who I am now. Because that obviously is out of alignment with you if the person is leaving. I would love to have an alignment with myself, with someone who's this is that, this experience I want. Go ahead and give it to the universe and let the universe unfold that for you. Because you're the God of your universe. Let the universe unfold that for you. It does and can and will happen. And I don't care how many friends you didn't or did have before. You can still have some more. Okay? Trust me. I've been there. Okay? So, it don't matter. You can have what you want. Okay, so. Let's see. Now, I wanted to step back another level because we talked about that personal message and then we talked about the collective message. So now I want to talk about the bigger picture. So what is happening? What is there to know about why we are at this point where we're having to take leaps and honor ourselves? What is it further and deeper and wider can we know about these new alignments that are occurring? We got Neptune retrograde to December. That is causing a lot of emotional stuff. From my understanding, there's 2 times this, I believe, in the rest of this year as for a period of time that all of the planets were in a convergence, which means they all aligned together at the same point. And when that happens, it brings tremendous energy into this earth, as you can imagine. And these earths, they are like galactic beings. These planets are beings. They are divinity. They are a different kind of being than we are, obviously, but they are also beings, and they have energies and personalities and stories, and they've been things and done things. And at this point, I want to just tap in. Council of Light, divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realm. Don't dim your lights to fit in. I'm noticing the earthen structures and the divine council. Benevolent, honorable beings of the divine council of light. We are here today to say to you that you are divine beings, benevolent ones. Upon this earth, your lineages, your lifetimes, your timelines are bringing a special energy, emotional forces, special and divine occurrences, unique waves of energy, of light, are what you embody. This is what you are made of. Your unique currencies, energy, bodies are divinely orchestrated to be in certain, it's like patterns or alignments at this time. Patterns and alignments for you to embrace the changes that are coming today. And today, that means in current time, in this year, in these passing moments that will soon be memories. They're referring primarily to the rest of this year. So we are divine beings. We are divinely orchestrated in our presence, in who we are and what we are as each individual. Okay. To assist with the planetary shifts, the planetary alignments, the planetary grid, the planetary placement. Okay. And then they're also showing me your place on the earth. Where you are as the divine being that you are was pre-orchestrated. And each one of us is a divine point on the grid, on the space of time of earth. Okay. And as this divine placement, your job is to be the best you. Your job is to see yourself, to understand, to unfold, to become, to behold the divinity that once was another. To understand who it is that you have become or are to become in this lifetime. The divinity that is called forth within you. It's there for a specific task. And this specific task will allow us and the earth to unfold. It's like these new places, spaces. Okay, and so that's being shown to me as unfold these codes of what Earth is becoming as well. And by Earth, we're not just talking about like, okay, it's a big planet. We're talking about these trees we see moving. We're talking about these plants waking up. We're talking about this life of what we called life is recoding itself to its own divinity. And each is its own divinity. Even within that grid work, each point is its own divinity. And it's like this network. Yes, okay. This network. And each person point, each divine being point, each divinity's point on this map was orchestrated for the vortexes, the portals, the aptitudes of this reality. I'm gonna have to look that up. Aptitudes of this reality to shift and to move and to sway and to dance into this new harmonization of what Earth is becoming. She's becoming as well. Remember, she's becoming. Remember her as a divine being. Remember her. Okay, and it's taking me to the Akash and to be reminded of what this is that we live in, on, with, in contingent, what's the word? Contendants with, that can't be right. Contendants. Well, I don't know what that word was. Contingent. It's like basically how we move together. See, because one is pushing and one is falling and so it's like in order for us to be in tandem, conceptually together. There we go. Okay, I just had to look it up. To get conceptually together, we each have to have an awareness of where we actually are in this movement. What we actually are in this movement. And that will give you your placement amongst the others. And the others is, again, everything. And I'm talking about everything. The rocks, the stream, like life as we know it. For you to find your place amongst the group, you have to be the best unfoldment of self. And by best, it means the most truest form of self. And everybody's place is a place. Even if you would say that place doesn't look good, it is still a place. So that is to say, the person who may seem as the devil's advocate is their lifestyle. There is still a place, point, poop, right there for them. Because their job is to force question and to force change and to force chaos and to force realignment, reignition, restart. They are a person who is a trigger who helps you to reevaluate your existence. And so therefore, that is a growth mechanism for you. I'm sure it doesn't feel good to the earth when we toil the soils. We move the soil. We dig up the soil. We break it up. And then we rearrange it and put seeds in it. I'm sure that cannot feel but so good to either the soil or to the earth or to the insects who were disturbed or whatever element. But that's still a divine orchestration, and it would have been chaos for the insects that were within that soil who have found a home and structured a home and now have to go and find another. So to understand that from the smallest to the greatest scale, there is still a divine accomplishment, a divine consistency, a divine harmonization, a divine placement and arrangement of the things within the thing. Okay. And it's just like know your role. I'm hearing know your role. Know your role, which is you. Know yourself. Learn who you are. The Akash holds this information, but you hold this information because you hold the Akash. It's like dig into your soul and see what's in there. What is your soul calling you to do? And this is when I see, this is on the bottom of the deck, but I was like, how does it even play into the big scheme? But okay. We are the big scheme. Apparently, every time I try to step back, we get brought back. This is happening. This is happening. So we're gonna accept that. Like we are the divine scheme. Like we are the reason for. We are part of the reason, the evolution and the continued life of planet Mother Earth, as well as our beingness here, as well as all the other entities being here, as well as all of our plant life being here, as well as everything that has a evolution here, whether it's known or unknown. This is why we cannot get away from self, because self is also the evolution of all these other things. We are tied together, and there is no denying that. We actually cannot exist without each other. It's like the planet will being here with no one to observe the planet. Like, there's still life on the planet. Oh, they're like, but maybe it isn't, because how is it that you're gone? Good question. What did we do to the earth? What condition is the earth in? What did we kill when we left? You know, like, okay, that makes sense. But still, Mother Earth is still here. And she is being observed by other planets, under other beings, and other, even solar systems. Yeah, true. But that's a good point. Okay, it's like for life to exist on this planet, it would have to be conditioned for life to exist. Okay, what about the restarts? There's still conscious awareness in the restarts. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. And then we come from something. We would still come again from something. A existence of a being on Earth, a terrestrial being, would still be coming from something. So yeah, there's always, okay, that makes sense. Okay, I get it. Okay, now that reminded me of the conversation of the fallen giants. That we were once giant, and because of the conditions of Earth and the changing of Earth, some of the things of which we have implicated and caused, our energy has shrunk. And so it's like our energy is still huge, but you know, physically, so not energy has shrunk, but our physical presence has shifted. And because of that, we seem smaller than we are, but really, like, energetically, like, we're really still 10 feet tall. Okay, and then they're talking about how much energy, and how they say like a human being one human being's body could power a system for several days, and that a city for several days, and that is because we are really that much energy. And when we think of ourselves as only this physical body, so-called physical body, we really extremely limit our capability, our existence, what we can do, what we think of ourselves. Like, the limitations are limitless because we're infinite beings. So whatever we create is in abundance. There is not like a not abundant thing that we can do. And it's like, if you think of yourself as small, you continue to shrink and shrink and shrink and shrink, because your energy will shrink. And it's like, wow. That's interesting. It's like, it sucks even in things that are around you. It like sucks it into your shrinkingness. And it like, it's like if you could energetically see it, like this person who thinks they're so small, it's almost like they're a black hole and they're just like sucking in energy, just sucking in energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you get around somebody, oh, that makes sense. If you get around somebody who thinks they're really small and really sad and got all this deep, dark sadness going on, then they will actually bring you down, because that's how much more they're sucking than the light you're producing. Because what's going to happen in that situation is whichever one is the more powerful magnetic to what they are is actually going to be the result of that transaction. So if I'm super like bright, like I'm a walking sun, and I come around someone who's sad, they're going to have to, and they're showing me like that. They're going to have to stretch out a little bit more just to be able to be around me. Or they're going to shrink, and go. They're going to have to go. They're going to actually have to leave your presence because they can't handle it at all. Like, it's just too much. Like, I can't handle the light. Oh, God, it's blinding me. Let me leave. Now I'm thinking about every time I went to the park with me and just my little son, and there were like 5 other people who were already there, and they were kids and adults, and when we showed up, they just left. It's like, literally, because I showed up, they left. At that moment, I'm like, was my light really that bright that they just had to leave? But I guess it's possible. Who knows? Anyway, that's interesting. I just never thought about that. Okay. But it's, I guess, yeah, your light, your inner sun, your solar plexus energy, your willpower. So it's the will of the body, the willpower, you know, free will. And so it's the part of you that is the part that helps you stand up for who you are, and makes you not feel small, makes you feel larger. So the more you embody the energy that you are, the more powerful your sun will shine, the more bright your light will be, because it's just by default. The more you come into yourself and you embrace self, and you excuse me, experience yourself as a, like, I am, like, this is what I am. And it's not even so much of like on some moralistic stuff or right and wrong. It's on some, this is who I'm choosing to be. This is how I want to be honored. This is how I am to be treated. This is how, you know, on that kind of flavor is your solar plexus. And the one thing I would say, because, you know, this has been one of my most recent deeper activations, has been the solar plexus. Because when you grow up as a child in a household where you're not like loved properly, then that and you're abused, like low-key, or, you know, having these kind of, not that I was only abused, because I'm not saying that, but feel like, you know, you weren't loved the way you felt like you should have been loved, let me say that, then it kind of takes you to a place where you do feel smaller than you should be. And so in order to heal that, you have to heal your mommy trauma. You have to get rid of all the stuff that says I'm less than, value wise, interpersonal, like wherever way it lies. Okay, you got to tell it the truth. Get that lies, lay. You ain't busy about it. So, you know, you have to like unfold those things, and you have to like embrace that. And on my walk to finding what it is to like fully trust and fully believe in myself, as I'm taking that walk, a lot of the work I have been doing over the last several months has been solar plexus related. And I can't help but notice this yellow candle. I wasn't gonna say nothing about it, but these yellow candles right here, they saying a lot. Right there. But yeah, yellow, your solar plexus is yellow, like the sun used to be anyway. The sun more white now. So yeah, so it's like low key, it's like the more empowered you get, the less you need from anyone and anything outside of you, because you're not need. What do you need it for? Like, you need it for your experience and your enjoyment and the things you want to experience. But like, do I need it? I don't know. I don't need it. Not like I needed it before. You know, like I needed people to do certain functions for me. I needed things like my art and my spirituality to do certain things for me. And now it's like, I just am who I am, and I want to do the things I want to do. And there's certain things I like to do. I love having enlightenment conversations because they're so fun. And I like playing with my ideas in the mind. And I like exploring concepts, you know, like, because internally it feels like deep dive, nurture, know myself better. It feels like love. I mean, shoot. I mean, I literally get high off my conversations. I'll be high like I smoked some weed or something off my conversations sometimes. And it's regular. It's not like here and there. It's like some days I really be floating the whole day because I had an enlightening conversation with my damn self. So it's real, like, and I love it. Some days I don't. I'm not gonna don't try to act like it's all love and bliss. Let me tell you, it be some real moments. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So even when I pull back to the furthest back they want to show me right now, it's taking me back still to the self. And also in these times of change, it's like knowing yourself and being able to listen to yourself and your intuition, and really taking this time while things are still like in a calmer place to learn how to listen to yourself better is actually going to help you when times should change, because you're going to need to trust to know where to be, how to get there. You're going to need to trust and listen to yourself to make sure that you are unfolded to where you need to be. And some of us are providers. Some of us are going to be helping other people have what they need or whatever. So, you know, we have roles and people, it has been set up. Like, this is not like, look, divinity already know what it is. So just tap into your divinity, babe. Your divinity is where it's at. And that is your higher self. That is your little voice that tells you to do something. And we are God. God is within us. God is what we are made of. Like, we can't be here without God. God put this all here. And I'm saying God is the creator. We know it's only one creator, or not one creator, but whatever the creative force is of all these things. That is it. Like, I don't care what you want to call it. It's the same thing. And people who want to debate that, they're wasting time. With precious time. I'm just joking. It's a waste of time for me. I won't have those discussions. I won't. Because I want to let you do what you want to do. And if your journey is something that looks different than mine, that's fine. I respect it. I have complete respect for it. Like, yeah. Yeah. So we got awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. Look at that moon. It's the same moon. It's awakening vibe. And I'm noticing the energy that's coming down onto her. Okay, that's about the sun. The energy the sun is promoting. The energy the sun is promoting. The promoting is seeing the sun in a new way. Seeing life in a new way. Letting the light light you up in a new way in your life. Okay, spend more time in the sun. Spend more time in the sun. Spend more time. They're like, if you need to take a break and come back out and then go back in and then come back out later and then go back in. Like, and you do this in intervals through your day, that's fine. You can do that. That works. Do that. If that's what you need to do, do it. But get your sun. Get your sun in. Because that's your codes. Also, as these cold places are melting, they are being old codes infused into our water. So that's also doing an awakening process, because that information that was in life during those other times that were frozen into those places are now being released. So that means enlightenment, understanding, knowledge of things before now, all of that is flowing into our waters. So that's something to be aware of. Yes. So however you are being called to tap into yourself, do it. Do all the adventurous stuff for yourself that you have put off. If you always want to astral travel, freaking take a moment, sit down and figure it out. Like, do it. You know what I'm saying? It's like all this information is available, and they're saying right now you already know how to do it. You already know how to do it. It's not new. And even if you think you never did it before, it's in your blood. Like, they're telling to me, like, it's in your blood, it's in your cells. Like, you know this, you already know this. Like, it's already in there. It's already in there. Like, most of the stuff you think you want to learn how to do, it's already in there. Like, all you got to do is boop, 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 boop. Okay, I'm doing this now. And then sit down and let your soul, let your vibes, let your vibe just engage and wrap yourself into that moment and see what comes out, because you don't know how beautiful it could be. You don't know how beautiful it could be. And right now, you know what? I feel like going to get that guitar, because I always wanted to learn the guitar. And I've been playing around and trying to learn it on the app every now and then, which is really like every few months. And I don't know, so I'm gonna pull that thing out and play with it. But anyway, yes. So that is what I have to say for now. I didn't mean for this message to be so long, so I'm actually probably going to break it up into a few different posts. And I'm going to do a timestamp. I'm going to start doing timestamp for all my long videos so everybody can just tap in and get what they want to get, and then they can just leave the rest if they don't want it. But, hey, It's all good. So yes. Any other pieces of information that they want to share before I go? Look at him. Look at this number card. Okay, they said they want to have a word with you. But I've been doing this whole time. No, I'm just joking. Okay, I'm just playing. I'm just playing with y'all. They know I'm goofy. Okay, I'm gonna give them the floor, as you will. I'm gonna move this closer so you can hear me. It's coming through kind of soft right now, so. Galam snoot like I'm Suam le quatrunt la crambus ut unum leam vae camrot ueli. Ais lecont ut unum lompr iki trampont erki. Salem brom la declam du solark e. Pull down the energy from the ethers and let it just dance through your body, around your body. Let it infiltrate your vibe. Move your body. Let yourself find a flow. Move. Alakam pratikek am lakor utun lalakam sike ilgik adat si watam lekitrekem sorkute dam rokolom lek e na nasalek e one kan lesilapeki on to utreka. The divinity within wants to just love you, just embrace you, just like hold you. The divinity within seep into your cells. Aram duam da saraka amba. Wam de sekiam suke. Dam lakam want like it. Aram wat it is wake. Wan ker sur aled monton darat ike moi. Anam sekwan up to so warik the cake eating lakam dosu surum goddamn tuturum de surum garap tap de sundum warum surum warum da karak ektum sum tom lara karap to da sum do da surukundam lekiti somewhere wadising. Oh, lekam do sikle waram but ut lidim laram dum so waram warkem do wakem do express alundo lad ergundo de sunduru matam dum na leam sung yeka delum dum lerum serkal drum zoom de lam seo udum du ledum duetam bonding werum so ding die werum dorum die wetrum brukum di serum walam detsarik. This is about romancing, like letting your higher self romance and love your energy, just like letting the love come in, letting it soothe your pains, your struggles, your energies. Just love on yourself and love on yourself. Let the love flow through you. The guidance is to listen to love songs that light you up and let yourself bathe in those energies. They will do so much for you without you having to do anything. They will loosen up all of the rough places so that you can vibe higher, and then the shedding will be easier. Tlakim dron desi waptrai dre dum krum desi waramtai drum dresram don dlek und ut lek are rutru letru 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 you letru you letru you. Okay, that was about letting the love like flow through you. Letting the love flow through you. Letting the love flow through you. And what they're showing me is like it melts your heart. It melts all the pain in your heart, all the sufferings in your heart. Our heart is a vessel that holds energy. And all of us holds energy. But here it's like a storage center. And it is also a portal. And it is also an activation into this life, out of this life, through this life, to life, like to create life. Because the pure portal that is your heart actually allows, it's like, it's the magnet of you. It's a magnet of you that draws in things, draws in experiences, draws in the people. And they say the heart's desire. The heart's desires. Because this is the magnet, this is the portal, this is the energy, this is where things go in, out of life. Unseen, seen, not experiencing, experiencing. This is where it happens. This is where it happens. And we make small these things of the heart, these energies of the heart, but they are highly magnificent. They are highly important. They are highly impactful. And so don't make small the thing that is so large. And then the power of love that they're speaking to me about now. Love conquers all. So they're giving me all these phrases that we use or heard of that are actually true, but we've been overlooking them. We've been using them a lot and thinking that they mean nothing. And they're just something that we say, but they are literally what is being said. So when you overlook it and you make small your love by thinking it's insignificant, you make small your power. Then you make small you. Then you make small things. Then you make small love. It's like you can't live like that. You can't live like that. It's like your heart will not be able to continue to shrink. And at some point, there's going to be a breaking. So it can break open and it can be a plethora of abundance and organic, beautiful transactions, or it can break down and someone can die. And she is reminding me of how often people have heart attacks, people die from their heart stopping, people die from these things. And these are real things, and we have to love our heart more. We have to nurture our heart more. We have to think our heart more. We got to listen to our heart more. So many of your answers are in your heart, fam. Sit with your heart. Listen. Take it one day at a time, one transaction at a time. And just see what your heart got for you. Because your gold is in there. What is your heart's desire? The things you desire the deepest, they in there. And they've been in there since you was a kid. Now it's not even new. You know what I'm saying? Your heart knows what you came here for. Your heart has that information. You know, yes, we have a soul, we have an Akash. We can remember, you know, why and how and what was the plan. We can do that. And we can align to it by just intentionally doing that without even going to look. It will show up for you. That is the power of what is in your heart. That is the power that our heart holds. Again, think about that. When your heart starts beating, you're here. You have a presence here. When your heart stops beating, your presence, your physical presence, is gone. So they're like, even if it was temporarily, this is the understanding is that when this is happening, it's life. So don't minimize the power and the actual action of what your heart is for you. It is your life, fam. It's your life. Let that jump flow through you. When that love goes through your body, just like that blood flows through your body, it's going to affect things. It's going to change things. It's going to draw things. And energetically, your heart does the same as it does for your body. Dang, I didn't even think about that. It flows. It sends. It sends. It sends. And then the legs pump the blood back to the heart. So there's a cyclical nature that is happening as we walk, move, and live in life. The cyclical nature of what our heart does, the energy, it's going to return back to us. It's going to return back to us. So remember that. Remember that. Remember that. Hold on to that. Live in that truth. Own it. Okay? Now my interruption is here and I gotta go. But I will be back. Now I want to just thank you for sitting through my galactic message. Gratitude. I love y'all. Peace.